Oh yeah, Cellar and Beller, double aught buck. Guess you're supposed to kill cats and rabbits with it. Dang, done killed the cat. Here, oh, wake up. Good afternoon, guys. Pat here. And as you saw in the title, it is $10 Pelican case slash my range setup. Basically, I'm going to show you what you can do with a little bit of good luck and some ingenuity. Because as you know, most Pelican cases are $200 up. This one I found at a yard sale. I hardly ever go to yard sales. They're other people's junk. It's overpriced, whatever. It's already been picked over and there's nothing good. But one day I was driving through a fancy subdivision and I saw that Pelican case standing up right there on the sidewalk, and oh, I had to have it. I pulled up. I asked the guy, so what do you take for that case? He said 10 bucks. So I carried it off. And now I'll show you what you can do with a $10 case, and maybe you can find some free foam like I did too. So hang tight, I'll show you that here in just a second. All right, so a few shout outs here. First and foremost, a few videos back, Florida Man had inquired about this. So this is a response for Florida Man. An additional shout out to Tominator for hooking me up with that patch. An additional shout out for Timmy. I love the bag, man. I've got this thing outfitted nicely. This is my range pack. Right there in the front, I have a place for glasses. That keeps them separate from getting scratched up. Keeps them clean. Right here I have ears. There's an individual first aid kit, tourniquet. In here there's mosquito spray, suntan lotion, or well, SPF, whatever, I don't know. Mosquito spray, burn cream. On the side here is an extra mag pouch. I love the little bag. This thing is so handy. But now, on to what we're doing here. Now, this right here is that $10 Pelican case. It's the Pelican 1600. It is actually Pelican brand. But this thing was 10 bucks at a yard sale. All 4 latches are still good. The seals are still good. And boom. Basically, this foam was in my buddy's basement. And I went to help him out one day, and I asked him, I said, what are you doing with that foam? And he said, I'm going to use it. Well, I went back a year later, and he had that foam, and he said, you know what? He said, you're going to leave with that foam today because I lied to you. I'm not going to use it. So what I did was I cut it in layers to fit the box. Then I took a hole saw. This one's larger than what I used, but I basically drilled a hole. And then I used a razor knife to cut the lines between them. So now, at this point, I have one large compartment, and that would be for like my big 5-inch revolver here. And of course, here's my 1911. I love shooting this gun suppressed. You can see all the junk backing out on the trigger. But this one's threaded, Ed Brown barrel. But anyway, keep extra mags right here. Drilled 2 holes for extra mags. And of course, here's my cool little G2C with the modifications. This Galloway Precision trigger, Galloway Precision guide rod. And this thing actually has a 4-pound trigger pull. That's cool. But, like I said, extra mag for it. And then there's the SAR 9. I've been enjoying this one as well, and it works out pretty well. Magazine right there. And I'm sure you've seen my suppressors. So there is my Silencer Co. Octane 45. And right here, all of these are threaded differently for other guns. So what I did was I took and left 5 holes for my 5 different adapters. Because like I said, they're all different threads. And basically, if I manage to lose one, leave one, something like that, I know that I've lost it because I have 5 holes and 1 will be in the suppressor. So basically, if I see 4 here and 1 there, I have them all. Now, here's my rifle can. This is the Hybrid 46. It has its own little home. Got a slot right here for my tools. There's the wrenches and everything for the suppressors. And in something that I thought was really neat, of course, I had to put a hole for my oil. This Lucas works out really well. Basically, before you put your Nielsen device in the suppressor, you put a little oil on it, and that helps save these rings. That O-ring in the end of this has been with me for almost 2 years because I oil it every time. So now that it has suppressors in it, basically you have to keep your paperwork. So at all times, right here is my tax stamp paperwork. So I'm going to try to keep from showing too much of my information, but right here, if you've ever gotten a tax stamp, that is literally a $200 postage stamp. It kind of sucks that we have to pay for our right, but this is the paperwork that has to stay with the guns. So I'm gonna hold this all backwards so you can't see my stuff. But anyway, the NFA paperwork stays right there in the top. So here we go, one final look. Hey, there's a piece of brass down in there. I guess that's one of the hazards. Oh, that's 10mm brass. I guess that's one of the hazards of taking this to the range. But there you go. And this right here, this up Lula, mag Lula, I thought these things were a gimmick. A buddy of mine owed me money, and he said, hey bud, he said, how about I just give you this? And I decided, hey, well, I'll take it because he's probably never going to pay me. I never would have bought this. I'd have thought they were a gimmick. This thing is awesome. It has a spot in there too. All right, guys. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed my little range setup. Like I said, 10 bucks in a Pelican case. If you're lucky and you're a little ingenuitive, then you can do the same thing too. But I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please consider subscribing. Also, I hope you'd please consider checking out my Patreon page. And then first and foremost, I hope you consider having a wonderful day. We'll see ya.
So this is my cat wielding pistol.